Happy Thursday. Today's April 23rd, and getting out this week for the beginning of a series of longer hikes. And today we're just going to go down in Bandon. We're going to go down to the beach and walk south on the beach to Seabird Lane and then back around to the hanging tree where I am here. And tomorrow hopefully get down to Humbug Mountain, do the long trail there, about 9 miles. And then Saturday pack up and head east over to Oak Ridge and do part of the Eugene to Pacific Crest Trail. It's about 30 miles or so, and I'll talk more about that there. That's a new trail to me, but it looks to be okay. It's mostly a mountain bike trail, but I doubt if we'll have a lot of people along the way. But thanks for coming today. We're getting all this organized. I had my plans changed maybe this next week, and I may be heading out east a little sooner than thought, like 2 weeks from today maybe. So if all goes according to plan, I'll be heading to Tennessee 2 weeks from today, and if it doesn't go according to plan, it'll be between then and 6 weeks from today. So wish I could nail that down, but I won't know for definite until the end of next week or the beginning of the week after. So we'll keep you apprised of what's going on. getting there. All right, we've made it over to the arm of Johnson Creek here. And yellow house is over that brim, and we're gonna head up here by 152. Beach markers are all along the coast here, in case you're in trouble. On a boat, you can just signal in where you're at. These markers aren't too far apart. Every access to the beach has one, until you get down to Brookings and the last river down by the airport down there. Number one is up by where the Columbia River comes out, west of Astoria. I think we'll use this log here for a hole a little ways and bypass the park and go through the neighborhoods and go back up Beach Loop before we go down into Old Town where we parked. We're about halfway here. That way it'll keep us out of the traffic at least, most of it. It's about the same distance. Just head up here a ways. Interesting, come across miner's lettuce. This rounded leaf stuff. Found this up in the Sierras. It makes wonderful, tastes just like lettuce. It's very edible. Good stuff. Yep. Okay, we made it back to Beach Loop. Take the public trail to Lincoln. Turn left. Get back on the donut hole pathway. Few lots left in case you want to build out here. Not like 20 years ago or 40 years ago when I moved here. This was just solid gorse. And created neighborhoods, subdivisions since then, but there's a few lots left. Got a few $100,000 close to the beach, pretty close to town and stores. Beautiful skies. Don't mind a little bit of rain from November to March. This place is okay. Alright, we've reached the end of the pavement for a while. Highway 101 is about a quarter of a mile past as far as you can see up there. And Beach Loop is down that way about 200 yards. And we're about at the outskirts of Bandon, going to the section of non-residential, non-commercial property, which is technically not in city limits, so it makes a big gap on the map. That's what locals call the donut hole. So we'll go down here a ways and get pretty close to City Park anyway and see which way we're going to go. In the winter, this place gets to be a bit of a swamp. It's pretty dried out today. The largest trees in town are these Monterey cypresses. Most of these pine trees have grown back from the Bandon fire of 1936. I think it was 36. But these cypresses are much older than that. There's a lot more of them in town than off of Beach Loop. But out here, most of these teeny trees were a lot smaller way back when they first cleared this. Most of these pine trees are more than 40 or 60 years old. The little ones are maybe 25 years old. Pardon the wind. We're going north now and it's coming out of the north. Because it's a blue sky. If it was coming Coming out of the south, we'd have clouds in the sky. This is about the last of the winter water on the road. This was all underwater in January. Made for a little difficult hiking. Not so bad today. People out walking their dogs and their kids and whatever else out here today, so it's kind of nice. Little duck in there. Baby duck. Mom and dad mallard ducks are usually around here somewhere. Turn onto the park. We're heading over to Beach Loop. Heading north. This way. 101's up that way, but we'll get there eventually. Down here to Beach Loop and stuff like that. Well, we made it back in one piece. Need to run up to the store now and get a few snacks for tomorrow. I'll check in with you tomorrow when we leave. But thanks for coming along today. As we get closer and closer, one of the tricks is not to panic and just have faith in what you've done and get ready to go a ways. So got to do that now. But I think we'll be all right. Just got to get up and down the bug tomorrow. See how that goes. We're going to be looking for a giant trillium tomorrow, which is the only place around here I know they grow, so that'll be cool. Anyway, have a good night. Get some rest. I'll see you later. Well, happy Saturday, not Friday. Decided to wait and change plans a little bit. We're down at the base of Humbug Mountain now. Heading up from the parking lot of the visitor center, the day use area. Going over the creek to the long trail. It's about 5.5 miles to the top from here, or 4.5. And then we'll come back to here. We'll head back to Humbug Mountain State Park on the Oregon Coast Trail, which goes down here a little ways. Thanks for coming today. I decided to go to Oak Ridge next weekend. And hopefully the next weekend after that we may be on our way. So we'll see. Still have a lot of things up in the air right now. So as time goes on this week, excuse me, I'll let you know. But this is a nice little spot down here. We got to go onto the highway and get over to the trail. Hopefully between here and the park we might see one of the rarer plants that live down here, the giant trilliums of Oregon. If we do, we'll let you know. See if we can avoid the stinging nettles around Brush Creek while we're here. Also, I don't see any yet. It's these giants coltfoot leaves here. Usually keep this place pretty trim since it's part of the trail here, as you see the Oregon Coast Trail sign. We'll get over and hike that way before we head up the hill. Let's see Humbug Mountain up there. All right, let's go. Another beautiful day. The weather's been pretty good this week. Next week looks like pretty good weather too, so. Highway 101 over here that you hear. On the other side of the creek. Go down here a ways and switch back up and over what we call Little Humbug, which drops down into the park. Everything's starting to leaf out. Just nice and green. Little maple trees and alders flowering. Berries down here flowering. Another nice day, a little bit of a breeze. Big leaf maple tree up here. Two of them actually. So can't ask for much more except a little more daylight today. I think we'll have plenty to get back. All right, we've successfully made it up Little Humbug. And we have to go down to the park now and get on the main trail. See if we can find any pretty flowers along the way. All right, we've about made it to the park. We gotta go through this little 100-yard stretch of trail. Dumps you out on the road into the campground. Still nice out here. Plenty of water in case you need water. No giant trilliums today so far. Just nice views. This runs into the creek that runs through the campground that dumps out in the ocean. Here we're going to part with the coast trail. It goes up that way. It does dump out on Highway 101 quite a ways down. Got nice views. A few bees up there you got to watch for, and a little later in the year poison oak. But we have the campground in front of us, and then we'll cross over the bridge and head over to the trailhead to Humbug Mountain. Traveling in a little newer footwear today. These are Hoka Speed Goat 5s that I got off of eBay. Slightly used. I check on eBay, and if the soles are not too bad and they have a lot of heel left and some toes, then I'll usually get them for anywhere between $40 and $50. I got these for $45, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. Good to train in anyway. I may take them with me when I head out east, or I may send them on to like Damascus. I just need some shoes to get me up to like Marion and maybe get new shoes there. But it should take about an hour and a half from here, maybe a little less, to get to the top. It's a pretty good climb, as you know. You've seen my other videos, but we should get back to the car before dark at least. 4 o'clock now, so get a little snack and get going. Freeze-dried bananas. Never had them quite like this. Not too bad. Up by the creek here, the thimbleberries are all blooming. They have white blooms. Go by the salmon berries, which have red blooms. 5-finger ferns today. And more bleeding hearts. Bleeding hearts like a wet area. Little creek up here that doesn't have as much water in it as did the last time I was here, but still has plenty. cascade of water though. Well, we're up about 800 feet now. We made it to the 1 mile bench where the trail forks and the east trail is closed. There's been cougar sightings up here and a lot of down trees. About a month ago, this was nothing but a big hole here. Somebody's done a lot of nice work. Thanks, guys. All right, one more little dipsy-do here, and then we're at the top. The old post. Not too many trees left up here. Cape Sebastian down there. Sisters Rocks, little teeny rocks that put out there. Go up here by the bench. Heading into the campground again. Nice little creek. Good place to sit when you're hot. A lot of little willow seeds blowing around down here. We'll get out of Sea Loop, it's closed. That little rise in front of us, big conifers on top there, is Little Humbug. We still have to go up and over that yet. Yay. Almost stepped on it. That is a giant trillium. There's 3 of them here. One of them still has a flower though. Pretty. Missed it on the way down. Oh well. We're right here at the top of Little Humbug, heading back. We've got to go down where those 2 hills form a V down there at the bottom. And down around there. You can see how far up we've gone though. The road down there. A couple of 100 feet up now. We'll work our way back down to it though. Trail down is fairly pleasant. Alright, we're about back. We got across Brush Creek and we'll go across another bridge and past the little picnic area and we'll be there. Last little cascading waterfall for the day. About where we need to be. Highway's over there, we're getting closer. Thanks for coming along this week. I appreciate your company. Next weekend we'll be in Oak Ridge, California, heading east along some sort of bike path / hiking trail to get up to the Pacific Crest Trail, and then head over to Odell Lake and get back to Oak Ridge somehow. But I'm not going to overthink that. We're just going to go east and figure out how to get back eventually. And that'll probably be leaving Friday, so that puts me at Odell Lake on Sunday. My best chance to get a ride back. This is a little fisheries area here with a lot of stellar stays hanging around. But this is also where the stinging This fine stuff right there. You don't want to touch it. It kind of stings. Hence the name. It'll kind of light you up for about 6 hours. I came through here once running, about 25 years ago, trying to run from here to the top of Humbug Mountain just in my shorts on a summer's day, and I got here and felt something sting and stopped and looked around, and I was in 4 feet of stinging nettles all around me. Had to kind of Tetris my way out of that. All right, we're going under Highway 101 and getting back. But thanks again. We'll get on the AT eventually. But if I get up there before trail days, then the goal is to make it to Damascus on trail days and head north out of there and keep going as long as this whole body holds out. So you all have a good week. Go get some rest. Stay hydrated. And we'll see you next week. But it's time to get out of here and go sit and get comfortable.